Come on, dying.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be looking at the most harrowing and heart-wrenching deaths that occurred in military films and television shows. As we'll be revealing character fates, a spoiler warning is now in effect. And also, go ahead and grab a box of tissues.
I'm scared.
War takes a devastating toll on the innocent. Learn about how they start with up to 32 players in the Civil War USA Battleground scenario for Conflict of Nations, a free online PvP strategy game that brings your tactical skills to life. Assemble your army with modern artillery like fighter jets, tanks, nuclear submarines, and stealth and special forces units. Declare war or build alliances. The choice is yours. Engage in epic battles with up to 128 players and strive for global domination, or work to reunite America. Build your army in states like Texas or California, or command the armies of nations like Canada and Mexico. Victory depends on your military might and strategic prowess. Play seamlessly on PC and mobile with a single account. And for a limited time, get an exclusive gift of 13,000 gold and a month of premium subscription for free by clicking my link in the description. But hurry, this offer lasts only 30 days. Download Conflict of Nations now and fight for your freedom.
Number 10. Nicholas Brody, Homeland. It can be said that the white-knuckle thrill ride that was Homeland was never the same after the death of Nicholas Brody. In fact, Brody was initially meant to be killed off at the close of Season 1, but his character was deemed too important.
Hello.
Hey, it's me. Carrie, I need you to go get my family right away. Take them somewhere safe.
It would take 3 seasons for the allegiance-conflicted character to meet his end. It came at the hands of the Iranian military, who served him a death sentence shortly after his capture.
Brody, run!
Get down now!
The public hanging is filled with vengeful spectators. But watching behind a fence is Claire Danes' Carrie, who desperately calls out to the father of her unborn child.
Brody! Brody!
To say the heartbreak was palpable would be an understatement. Number 9. Nick Goose Bradshaw, Top Gun. It doesn't take long for audiences to discover that Anthony Edwards' Nick Goose Bradshaw is the opposite of his partner Tom Cruise's Pete Maverick Mitchell.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
While Maverick is a rebellious hotshot, Goose cares mostly about one thing: his family. However, the duo's differing styles make them a perfect match, and it's clear their bond runs deep. They sure have a good time when they're around one another.
You broke the will? What the will? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
If only the good times lasted a little longer. When Goose and Maverick's aircraft gets destroyed in jet wash, the men are forced to abandon the plane. Unfortunately, when Goose ejects, his head slams into the canopy and is killed.
Watch the canopy!
The gut-wrenching loss left Maverick and moviegoers in sheer disbelief. Number 8. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, MASH. While MASH is classified as a TV sitcom and had its fair share of funny moments, it was ultimately about the tragedies of an ongoing war. And naturally, character deaths were inevitable. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's demise, however, was a complete gut punch. Following news that he can go home and reunite with his family, he proceeds to give heartfelt farewells to the unit.
So long, Hawk. I'm afraid just a handshake won't do it, Henry.
Shortly after, we learn that Blake died when the aircraft he was riding on got attacked.
Henry Blake's plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan. It spun in. There were no survivors.
Another random casualty of war, the death, while not shown, is made all the more sadder when seeing the other characters' shocked reactions. They are barely able to come to terms with the news as they must continue their critical work. Number 7. Sergeant Elias, Platoon. Oliver Stone's Platoon is easily one of the most impactful war movies ever made.
Day by day, I struggle to maintain not only my strength, but my sanity.
And perhaps the Vietnam War epic's most jarring death belongs to Willem Dafoe's Sergeant Elias. You see, Elias was always able to stick to his morals, even among the unspeakable terrors around him.
Back down there!
In a shocking moment, however, Elias is shot by Barnes, his deceitful comrade. Desperate and with every ounce of strength, Elias continues to move, refusing to die. It's all for naught, however, as the sergeant is then killed by enemy soldiers, all while his friends watch helplessly from their helicopter. With his arms held high, Elias's death is as maddening and depressing as they come. Number 6. Sergeant Warren Muck and Private First Class Alex Pencala, Band of Brothers. The critically lauded miniseries Band of Brothers dramatizes the real story of Easy Company, a 2nd Battalion 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the 101st Airborne.
I'm just one part of the big war, that's all. One little part.
In the episode The Breaking Point, we witness the unforgettable deaths of characters Muck and Pencala. With constant shells hitting the American position, a bit of breeze shooting between Sergeant Muck and technician George Luz is interrupted when a strike disperses the men. Muck and Pencala call to a crawling Luz to join them in a dugout. However, as he gets closer, a shell strikes Muck and Pencala, and they simply disappear. The moment is jarring, shocking, and unforgettably sad. Number 5. Lance Corporal Thomas Blake, 1917. In the impeccable World War I film 1917, two soldiers must race against time and cross over into enemy territory to deliver a life-saving message.
Leave immediately. Take this trench west up on Sorky Hall Street, then northwest on Paradise Alley at the front. Continue along the front line until you find the Yorks.
However, the mission soon falls to only one of the men, Lance Corporal William Schofield, as his friend Lance Corporal Thomas Blake is tragically killed. The sorrow-filled moment happens when Blake tries to save an enemy pilot after his plane suddenly crashes. When the pilot comes to, he stabs Blake and ultimately ends his life. As Blake was trying to save the life of the person who killed him, it makes this fate extra sad. Adding to the heartbreak, of course, is Schofield's helplessness as he watches his friend die.
Am I dying? Yes.
Number 4. Captain John H. Miller, Saving Private Ryan. Steven Spielberg's classic war film, Saving Private Ryan, is often cited as one of the most accurate depictions of wartime.
Clear the room! 30 seconds! Got me with you!
And so, the deaths that occur in the film are as authentic and upsetting as you'd expect. Captain Miller's death, however, is undoubtedly the film's most emotional. Shot in the chest and slowly dying, Miller musters the strength to give Private Ryan his decisive final message.
Earn this. Earn it.
After everything that Miller has done to complete the mission, it's incredibly sad to see him pass on. Hope remains, but the devastation is tenfold. The performance would go on to earn esteemed actor Tom Hanks a much-deserved Academy Award nomination. Number 3. Smitty Riker, Hacksaw Ridge. Based on an incredible true story, Hacksaw Ridge focuses on the World War II experiences of Desmond Doss.
Please, Lord, help me get one more. Help me get one more.
Doss, who refused to carry/use a weapon of any kind, heroically saves numerous lives throughout the movie, something he would be greatly rewarded for later.
While everybody else is taking life, I'm gonna be saving it. With the world so set on tearing itself apart, it doesn't seem like such a bad thing to me to want to put a little bit of it back together.
Sadly, there was nothing he could do to save Smitty Riker, his friend. After being shot by a machine gun, Smitty's fate is all too clear. Dying in Doss's arms, no less, the fallen soldier tells his friend that he's scared.
I'm scared. Let's go help the plane. No, don't you do that!
It's a truly emotional loss, as audiences had gotten to see Smitty's journey and grew to root for him. However, it's yet another example of the sorrows of wartime. Number 2. Lieutenant Michael Murphy, Lone Survivor. As the title alludes to, there was always going to be just one survivor in this 2013 Mark Wahlberg starring military film based on true events. And so, when a 4-man Navy SEAL mission goes south in Afghanistan, an extraction is needed.
Right is no good! Right is no good!
Move!
Lieutenant Michael Murphy, played by Taylor Kitsch, is successful in signaling a quick response force atop a mountain. However, he is upsettingly shot. Making this death even more painful is the fact that the rescue helicopter he's sent for is taken down by an RPG, thus making his life-ending efforts amount to nothing. It's an unforgettably sad and tragic demise, any way you look at it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Albert Kropp, All Quiet on the Western Front. Based on the 1929 novel of the same name, All Quiet on the Western Front is a German anti-war movie that masterfully shows the horrors that took place in World War I. And while the ultimate death of our main character Paul at the film's close is incredibly sad, it's the fate of his friend Albert that left us most shaken. Albert meets his end in a chilling scene where he's caught in no man's land. The German soldier attempts to surrender but is instead burned by an opposing soldier's flamethrower. The look of devastation on Paul's face as he sees his friend die on the battlefield is one that will forever be marked in our minds. Is there a death in a war film or TV series that completely wrecked you? Share your tales of viewing heartbreak in the comments below.
I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and lost.
Conflict of Nations is a free online PvP strategy game happening in modern global warfare where you can strategize on a global and local scale. Click on the link in the description to get 13,000 gold and 1 month of premium subscription for free. Offer only available for 30 days, so don't waste time. Click my link in the description, choose your country, and fight your way to victory.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.